All right, another one down, another one up. What's going on, everybody? Hello, old man. How you doing?
How's everything? How's
Good,
everything?
good.
All is well. All is well.
How are you
Um,
adjusting to the daylight savings? It's been about a week now.
I'm fine. Hey,
Mm,
it's not my first rodeo.
okay, well, I'm just
My
making sure.
first rodeo.
You know how you elderly folk get with the
Oh,
whole.
yeah, it doesn't take long to adjust, but it is adjustments that you have to adjust, make when an hour makes a difference.
Right,
So,
right.
but
Okay.
but,
Well, what's up?
no. I'm just
Well,
saying this tax time.
you're right. Deadline's coming up pretty soon, right? I think it's like what,
I
April
think
15th?
April 15th or something like that. I think
Right.
April 15th. I think that sounds more like it.
Okay, so what are you gonna
Um,
do when you get your return?
uh, Invested. Invested. No, I just put mine in savings and just leave it there
Mm,
and let it grow to next year, and then I add more. So,
yeah,
but
I'm
go ahead. What
no,
are you
I'm
gonna do
just
with
gonna
your?
say this. You sounds like you getting ready to say something about my generation, so I'm gonna go ahead and sit back and let you take the floor
Yes,
because
yes.
you salivating at the mouth over there, ready to say
No,
something about what my generation and the generations behind me do. So,
well. I mean, it even happens in my generation. People tax time. They can't wait to get their taxes back and make you know unwise purchases on things that they probably won't have before the end of the year. I saw an article that the article was sent to me about a woman buying a uh, 1998 Ford Escort, and her payments are like $289 a month for 84 months. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? That car is probably only worth 1,500 at best, and she'll end up paying 24,000 over $24,000 for this car. But that's what people do when they get their taxes. Especially, the young generation, they want to look good. I mean, in this case, I don't think that was the premise for that purchase,
mhm.
but you see it with people when they get their tax return, get vehicles outside of their price range.
I don't know if that's like more of a going to spend because you got your tax return. I think that's more of you got fleeced kind of thing. Like if you're buying a car in that range, but yeah, you're using your tax return to get you transportation to get you to whatever your job or whatnot. But with that being as old of a car as that is, and you're still paying, that kind of monthly rate, somebody didn't like sit you down or do anything to help you understand what you were about to get into.
That's true. And the thing about it, you find people like that purchase newer vehicles or luxury vehicles doing the same thing, and they can't. It's really outside of their price range where they can't afford the maintenance. That car is only as good as long as it's running okay.
Mhm.
First time something has to go in to get repaired, it's out. For thousands of dollars, probably more than you may got back on your tax return just to get it repaired. It just we just got I just see that as, like you said, flossing, or just trying to say, well, I got this vehicle just for other people, not using it for reasons of getting back and forth to work, reliable, gas efficient, and if something goes wrong with it, I can get it repaired.
Right. And I think to continue on this topic, I think the most notorious time for this kind of thing to happen is during college. Like when you're able to actually file your taxes and get a return if your parents
Right.
aren't claiming you, because usually you'll get, depending,
Thousand.
either yeah, you'll get a good bit of money. Like you'll get a good bit of
Right.
money back, and then the first thing you want to do around that time is what? Spring break. and you know what happens. So that's probably the most notorious time for something like that to occur. Um, I mean, because what else are you gonna do? You're a young adult going to school, nothing else to do. You just got all this money. Well, in your thought process, it's a lot of money, but some others would be like, oh, it's not that much or whatever. But it's just
So maintenance and maintain the vehicle is out of the question, not even thought about.
probably not. Probably not, because you're getting influenced by a whole lot of different things. Like I said, you're getting ready to go on vacation, spring break. You know what happens on spring break. It's like you already have that image drilled into your head that you need to be a big time baller.
But you know that that's why you have a lot of used car dealerships,
Mm-hmm.
is because that process, they know this process, they can't wait till tax time, so that they'll have vehicles available for gullible people. And I'm not, trying to insult, but gullible people, that they will make a purchase outside their range, pay high interest rates for vehicles, and then end up, if the vehicle breaks down or they can't afford it, they recycle the vehicle. In a sense, they repo it. They took your
Right.
down payment. Now they can sell this vehicle again and again and again. You're probably the 30th owner of that same one vehicle. You probably made 10 times his money back on it because people, want to floss.
Yeah. And I guess I got a little sidetracked for where you're going. You're sticking on the topic of the car. I was just saying spending
Well,
the
I just spending money. I'm just saying spending money. Spring break, they do things that entice people to come down there and blow that money.
right. And I
The
mean,
girls are down there waiting on you. You want to be big ball, hey, making it rain, making it rain. It's we got to value our resources a little bit differently than that. We, okay, I'm not saying don't have a good time, but it's going to rain. It's not going to be sunny every day. It's going to rain. Then you call it mom. Hey, mom, I'm a little short. I got, can you send me some money? And you know what? This is not like the end of the year you're doing it. It's right after spring break.
right.
Oh, that's good. Good thing.
And that's the one time that I think, well, that I would see something like that happen, because it all coincides in that same time frame. Because
Right.
when you I think it's like a clock. You just know when you're a student. You're like, oh, tax return time. Let me do my taxes. I guarantee you, if they probably did a demographic, they'll probably find out that kids 18 to 22 are probably the quickest
Mhm.
filers out of all the age groups, because they want that tax return money so they get ready for spring break or whatever else they gotta use that.
So this thing starts real early in
Yeah.
life. Right when you get a tax return,
Mm-hmm.
the bad habits
Right.
begin.
Yep. Because I mean, you're not taught these. You're not taught financial literacy usually when you're growing
Well,
up.
you're in college. You're in
I can tell you right now how many classes I attended that were
college.
teaching about money saving and investment and stuff like that.
I hope they change that. I hope they start doing that more now, because it's to that's a lump sum. It's your money. It's money that you paid over the amount that was allotted for your income bracket.
Right.
But to take that money and just blow it, and then don't have anything to show for it. But in their mindset, I got the memories. We had a good time.
Right.
You know, it's that's the way it ends until next tax time. I mean, I you shouldn't want to be in that circle. Like that. We call it that gerbil or whatever, running
The
around in
hamster
that
wheel. Yeah.
the hamster wheel, and just waiting for the next tax return, waiting for the next year, and hopefully you get a big tax return this time and things like that. So, and then yeah, a lot of times, I mean, you could probably attest to this, that you got a lot of credit card debt as a college student. You
Yeah.
create it because they sending you all these credit cards
Yep.
saying, "Hey, you got all these, you got the, they give you cards. You don't even have to apply for it. They
And
send
then
it
the
to
minute you hit 18, that's when you start getting them in the mail. Like,
you. Just the same thing as used car salesman. Same things as a lot of times when new Jordans come out. At certain times, these things come out, and when people feel like they have excess, resources, they splurge.
mm. And so you there.
Playing you, just playing you.
So
Just
so so Jay, there's nothing you spent. There's nothing crazy you spent your money on during tax
yeah.
time.
I mean, we all guilty of it,
Hmm.
at one point, but sometimes you got to mature. I know people my age still do the things we just talked about.
Hmm.
Get vehicles and just like the rent a center things, renting furniture, getting brand new furniture that you're renting to own when you could just purchase it.
Right.
It's that whole process of saying, "Oh, I got new furniture, so everybody can see my new furniture," but you will pay 4 to 5 times more than what the furniture is worth because you lack patience and discipline.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I I think it starts once again. It starts with being taught those things in school because, like I said, when you go to college, you're not learning the basics for the most part. You're really not. So you get a large sum of money, a decent sum of money. You think just go do everything, any and everything. So
So, so you can sympathize with these guys in college, right out of college, get going to the pros and just start balling and start,
yeah, I mean, because
buying
that's
5, 10 cars.
that's
You know,
even that's life changing money right there. That's not
yeah,
a,
it
a
should be. It's life changing until you broke. You just spend it and splurge it and everything else.
well, no, I'm saying as far as the comparison between the getting back a refund and a check with
Right.
6, 7 figures on it, like
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is the mindset
right.
of getting money and then you know, I understand you can't take this stuff with you. You can't take money with you when you're gone. And you should enjoy it. But we don't need the whole cake at one time. Let's get a slice at a time so that we always have cake. Don't just
You
eat
know
the
that
whole cake and
you know
then
that's not gonna you know that's not gonna happen, man. You know that. You know that
worry about it later.
everybody wants the cake now. They don't want to wait. They don't want to wait for dessert. They want it before
But
dinner.
it's a cost. There's a cost associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got the stress of things not being taken care of. Now you're walking. That I mean, you bought a car, you couldn't afford it. You hide the car behind the house. You hide it in somebody else's garage so you can keep it away from the repo man. But they're gonna get it anyway. So it's we just need to use our resources a little bit differently, especially when it's really the government's not giving you this money. This is your money that you overpaid. So uh, just like I, I look at the pandemic as a part of that year when everybody was getting like $900 a week.
Mm-hmm.
That was tax money. People flock, cars everywhere, brand new cars everywhere. And then next thing you know, the next day, they don't even have the regular tags yet. They got a donut on the car. The car, is all damaged. Now they don't want to pay for it. So what I'm saying is that's just money you didn't even count on. You should have saved that money. At least half. But no, people are worse shape now than they were before.
I mean, I can see
And
that,
that's what hmm?
and that's what. Go ahead.
You said you can see that. You
Yeah, I
can
can
see
see
that,
it.
right?
I can see it. I mean, depending on how much people got and everything like that, but I don't know. Like I said, everybody is their own individual as far as like getting this money and everything like that. But once again, I'll say this: I think those classes, if they're taught at an early age, they'll be okay. But since that stuff is not taught,
It's talked about all the time, but people want to do what they want to do and then blame and say, oh, do a GoFundMe or something like that to
mm.
help them out. It's you have access, you have resources. You just got to live with inside your means and stop making purchases, especially with taxes. I see it all the time, especially with taxes. You get things that you normally wouldn't get just because you got a little extra money. And, and get to a certain point, you should know better.
I mean, if I get my taxes, I'm getting a fighter jet, so I don't know what you're talking about. And so
Hey, they repo fighter jets.
that's what
well,
I'm gonna get.
well, and I felt this was a topic that I wanted to talk about because I just see it constantly people making, once they get this, tax money, make, you know, just, I don't want to insult or whatever. They just make irrational purchases and don't think it out. Is this a car? Like, you know, you do better off getting a cash car. If your whole return could take care of it,
Mhm.
you buy that car, at least you got something.
Yeah, but that would I hear you, but that would involve doing a whole another track run of not doing talking to the dealer, telling him about you paying in cash, this, that, and the third, going through that whole process. Because that's like one thing that you're taught
Mhm.
prior to going to get a car. You never tell them you're going to pay with cash. So
Well, well, you never know, let them know how much cash you're willing to pay. You always go low and
yeah, but
let them work it out.
you don't tell them you're paying with cash until like you're about to sign or whatever.
Yeah. So, what's the average um, tax return you would imagine? Um, 5 to 8,000, maybe on the high end.
What somebody born in the 1900s?
Wait, that's how much think they usually get back.
No, I'm thinking if you single
Yeah,
person, no kids, they're probably at most maybe 1,500.
1,500.
Depending on their job as well. So I mean, like
Okay,
if I
okay,
said the
okay,
median maybe 15 to 3K.
okay. Maybe I was looking at the
Yeah,
high end. Okay,
nobody's factoring in Social
but
Security and all this other stuff that y'all get. Is come on now.
no. We make more, and we don't do like a lot of people do, and probably yourself included. You put all these dependents on there, and they will take enough out. You don't want them taking all your money out, so you
Mm.
get most of it during the year. We, on the other hand, we usually just do single and none and let them take the max out and get ours later.
No, I don't claim any dependents. I'm not trying to have them come knock at the door. Hey, we're doing an exam to see if these people
We're
really
gonna,
exist.
yeah, we're gonna audit you. Where's your paperwork? Where,
I'm good.
where those kids at? You said you got 20 kids? No. But a lot of people do that. And if you're in the higher tax bracket, a lot of people just put enough to break even. Try to get it. Breaking even is 1,500 to me.
Mhm.
1,500 to 3,000. If you get a return in that range, you're breaking even.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I guess, like I said, I don't. If you're working a regular job, making what I guess it would be the
minimum wage.
not even minimum wage. I guess whatever the state
Mhm.
average is, because I mean each state is different as far as like what
Right.
their
That's right.
median
Cost of
is.
living.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm just looking at. I think North Carolina. I want to say it's like
32.
32,000.
32,000.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay. Yeah.
32,000.
Okay. That's probably
So
right because a lot of retirees and stuff there.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably looking at about like 1,500 if you're
Yeah,
making the median.
man. Yeah. So with that 50, I guess, I guess, I guess you could consider that pocket money. But if you bring it home 1,500 to 3,000, you usually got all your other stuff together. You're not looking to buy a new car with your
Right.
tax money. It's usually the people who can't afford it. It's usually the people who get the large tax returns. It's usually the people who have kids also that have to be taken care of, and they make these type purchases. I'm not trying to single anybody out, but what I'm saying is the one that need it the most tend to make these type decisions.
Right. I mean, you can kind of tell. I guess especially over there because that's a mecca. You can go down
Rebecca,
certain.
what?
You know what I'm talking about. You can go down certain neighborhoods at a certain time and just know when it's tax season or when
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's like Christmas.
Right.
Like, without the lights and without Santa, But yeah, yeah, it's I saw it during COVID. Same type mindset where the new Jordans came out during COVID. Right when they got that $1,200 what do you call it, stimulus check,
Hmm.
and everything was shut down the whole time here. And right when that check was issued, they opened it up because they didn't want everybody sitting around starting to save $1,200. Say,
Of
oh man,
course.
I saved $1,200. They opened the door so that, and we never looked back. It stayed open ever since then. But they showed the line. This is COVID, still hot and heavy now. You know, a line out of the mall trying to purchase those new Jordans. First day, the first day when they dropped it, it was a line out of the mall trying to get those Jordans, those new Jordans.
But you can also look at that as kind of like an investment because a lot of those people that bought the Jordans resold them at double the price. Now,
Well, okay.
I know some people that do that. They buy the Jordans and then
Well,
they
okay.
wait, they sit on
Okay.
them, and then they resell
All
them.
right.
So
Well, if that was the case, you had a lot of investors sitting out there waiting on those new Jordans. I I think the opposite. I think that the
oh, I'm not saying all of them. I'm
90%,
just saying
yeah, ninety
there's
percent of them was there just because they had extra money. They spent it on Jordan, on sneakers. Five $500, is that going rate for
I
Jordans or
don't know.
what?
I don't buy Jordans. I'm not
Me
a
either. I can't afford it. I can't,
well, according
I
to you,
can't
since you're
afford
born in the
it.
1900s, you getting 8,000, you know,
Still
drop from
can't
the
afford
bucket
it.
for you. Drop from the
Still
bucket
can't
800.
afford it.
Oh, $500 Jordans. No problem. No problem.
Still can't afford it. Still can't afford it. It's still out of my price range. I just can't see walking around with shoes that cost that much. I, I can't. My heart couldn't take it.
Look, you're in the shoes more than you're in your car though. So
Oh well, hey, but still, but at least I can make more money with the car. I could go make money with the car.
you
That's a
can make
long
money with the
walk.
Jordans. You could just walk.
Uh,
You could just walk or bicycle or mass transit. What you
yeah,
mean?
walk around the right neighborhood with those Jordans on, those rain and see how far you get. Well, you'll be walking, but you won't have those shoes on.
It's a possibility. I'm just saying, you talk about the car can make you. I was like, no, you can actually do the bus or anything else. So you'll be all right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But it's a mindset that we need to get away from, where because we got $1 in our hand, that doesn't mean that just go out there and spend it. Because, like I said, it's not going to be sunny every day. And then next thing you know, it avoids all these GoFundMe's and things like that people have to resort to take care of things in their home that they should be taken care of and addressing with their finances.
Well, what do you propose then? What is?
I'm not saying don't have a good time. I say save.
Mhm.
Save, put the money up. I mean, get a bank account. Use it. Start your savings account. You don't have to put the whole thing in there, but pay some bills off. Everybody got bills. You know, pay some. Some credit card debt that you might accumulate. Treat yourself in that way. That way, you got less stress. The thing is to take the stress off of you. That's what's stress takes years off your life. The less stress you have, the less, the better, longevity
Well,
you can have. When you got that debt and everything on you and you don't see a way out, it's stressful.
yeah. I mean, I don't see my generation particularly being stress free. Because we've been going through it since day one. There's a lot of stuff that has happened in our lifetime. As far as like we went through what, two recessions. We had,
Not the other one.
yep, inflation.
Mm-hmm.
We were worried about, the price, the cost of living going up, not making enough money to live, where we're at. So our generation, y'all are fine.
This is a
Yeah,
stressful generation.
exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know about our life
But the spending hasn't changed. It's still reckless.
for some, but there's others that are, trying to do what you're proposing, and it's not going to be able to be accomplished because of everything else that's going on.
Well, we need to try because you set yourself up for failure. Next thing you know, your credit is shot. So now everything you try to get is going to cost more because your credit's bad.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about all this stuff. Pandemic, two recessions, inflation. I'm just looking at all the stuff
And,
that my generation has gone through so far. It's just like, all right,
well, it's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I'm curious what's going to be the future
a
of
bank
that.
collapsed.
That's that stress that stress level on a generation. How's it going to affect them in the long run?
I told you our life expectancy is probably not looking that good. As you said, being stress free, I'm like, it's probably not looking
Yeah,
that good for us. I'm gonna be real with you.
yeah, and there's a lot of other factors too. It's uh, it's you got to worry about the food, the water, the ozone. It's all these things, and and then you got the social issues that are going about. Where you know everybody kumbaya, but it's just not that. And now it's almost everything is answered with a gun. Stress because they're not using their tax dollars wisely.
Those tax dollars has nothing to do with that, man. I can tell you that right now.
They're not using their tax dollars wisely. If they use their tax dollars wisely, it'd be less of all that. No, I'm not making light of that. It is serious. It's something that we're going to probably have to address in the future. Like you saying, that it's. I didn't think about it until you started mentioning. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't have to go through that
exactly.
growing up. You know,
Exactly. So it's just
I did.
like this was actually brought up to. I actually saw this um
Hmm.
on a TikTok, and I was like, you know what? That is very accurate because they're like,
Hmm.
ask a millennial when's the last time they've been able to relax. It's just with everything
Oh,
that's
since they were born, they don't have no. Y'all stress us out. We got to take care of you.
what are you talking about? Y'all stress us out because we gotta figure out how to ease the mess
What?
that was continued by y'all.
Oh,
Remember what I said about Futurama, the rocket coming back, and you sit in another rocket. Exactly. That's exactly what's going on here.
Well, hey, y'all weight is a lot lighter than the weight
I don't know about
we
that.
got.
We just talked about everything we went through, and you gonna sit there and try to say that the weight is
Well,
lighter.
that's outside of the rim. It's not because of our generation that we have a pandemic and all this stuff. No, it's not.
So the recession is not the two recessions, inflation.
No, no, that came from taking care of the young people because
Uh-huh.
they needed help. They needed help. They keep spending their tax dollars on things they don't need,
Mm-hmm.
like Jordans and
Right.
cars, 1998 Ford Escorts.
Right. I mean, there's some other things that factor into that, like having a $7.25 minimum wage in 2023 when things cost three times as much.
You know how you fix it? Stop spending.
How you gonna fix that? How you gonna fix that when you
Stop spending.
you
Gotta
work?
stop spending.
How you gonna fix that? You
What do
work
you
40
put
hours.
trillions of dollars out there?
Say what?
You give it when you put trillions of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
free money out there. I mean, you're spending money you don't have.
But
What do
that's
you
not gonna
expect?
that's not
Things
gonna
it's gonna
that's
come
not
from
gonna fix it.
somewhere.
That's not gonna fix somebody if they hold on to that check. That check will probably last them a month, even if they are working. They pay off their
That's right.
bills and they're right back to where they were at because the check got used for everything else. Still making that $7.25 an hour, and things cost them three times as much just to get by.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But at least you didn't hurt your credit. You helped your credit.
Your credit probably what do you mean? You robbing Peter to pay Paul? Your credit didn't go anywhere.
Well, I mean, you got money. You got this tax money. You put it on a
and the,
bill.
and the tax money went right into those.
No, it went right into
It,
entertainment.
the tax money went to pay off a bill to now instead of being 2 months behind, you're a month behind.
Well, at least you're not in the street. You got an extra month before you out in the street, right? I mean, am I right?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I'm just giving you the scenario out here. I just hey, 725
so
is still. I mean, 2000 what 2005 maybe to 2010 that was okay, but
right.
now, but that's
Hell, everything's expensive now. Everything, and so that's why you should always value your resources. Are even more valuable now than they were before.
mhm. What
So you should
that
be
one
less
check.
reckless now than before because things cost so much.
I don't think that's going to cause somebody to be less reckless if they ain't making the money to sustain themselves.
You need food, shelter,
Right,
water.
right, 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 right.
So
And so the two checks you get a month are basically gone just because of rent, just because of rent alone.
oh yeah, that's another thing. Yes, that's rent is through the roof. So yeah, it's
Yeah. So what they gonna do with
that's
that?
what I'm saying. You need those dollars. You need to use those dollars wisely instead of blowing it.
Yeah, no, they blew it to get caught up, so they're only a month behind instead of 2 months.
Well, I think that was a very
Right?
intelligent
You said,
choice.
uh huh.
So,
That's when they run that hamster
okay,
wheel.
if I bought 10 pairs of Jordans and hopefully I'll sell five of them on the
Mm-hmm.
market and get twice my money back, would that be the better purchase or pay my rent so I can probably figure out, give me a month to figure out
I don't
another way
know.
to
Are
pay?
you still working a job that's gonna eat up 3/4 of your money for rent? I mean, these questions have to be answered. These questions have to be answered. Am I gonna pay? Am I gonna pay $15, $15 to $20 for a 12 pack of chicken to go in my freezer?
Yeah, yeah, so you can eat. You rather eat than what?
No, I'm just
You
saying.
don't
Like,
want any food?
no, that's all I'm saying is the cost of that. So you just getting a 12 pack
Right,
of chicken,
right.
$15 to $20. What else am I gonna eat with that? Salt.
That's why those dollars mean a lot. That's why they mean a lot. And that's why these purchases and going through this cycle, constantly doing this cycle, is hurting you. It's not going to benefit you. You know, I'm the way you're saying it is like, well, don't pay that extra month. You
No,
know,
I'm
you're
presenting you
not
a question. I'm not saying don't pay it.
right.
I'm just saying
Oh,
like
okay.
if you're working a $7.25, minimum wage job, and your check is eaten, three-fourths of the check is eaten just paying rent.
That's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
So,
It's
you
tough.
know, you already stressed out. You talk about life expectancy. You in the you already hurting, and you get that check. You think people are going to sit there and try to enjoy themselves? I'm just saying, like that's the reverse.
So you think that's the mindset? Okay, I'm struggling. I'm going through all this. When I get this lump sum check, I'm gonna splurge. I'm gonna have a good time.
They may they may do it. I mean, if you're stressed out constantly like that, that's not good for you. So, I mean, you need an outlet.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. But you still you just it's a you're trying to run away from something that's not going away.
Mhm. Oh,
That bill
nobody's
is
running.
still going to be
You
there.
just taking that day. You just taking that day to treat yourself. It's like, man, like
It's
if you
great, but
you're not doing any
yeah,
extravagant purchases,
it's
but
just.
just
But
taking care of yourself.
if you're by yourself, that's different.
That's what I'm
But
talking.
if you
I'm
got
talking about
kids,
from
you
being
got to
the.
think about the kids.
I'm talking about being in a by yourself perspective. Like if you're if these kids,
Okay,
it
okay,
changes everything. Of course, you like the
that's right.
kids are going to
That's right.
be the first priority as far as things being taken care of.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I'm glad we made that though. You know, because I wouldn't want to believe that a parent would say, "Oh, I get this money, I'm gonna have a good time," and the kids,
I
sit
mean,
there with their mouth all white and hungry.
some might. I'm just saying some might, but the ones
That's the
that
scary part. That's the
the
scary part. You're right.
yeah,
Some might,
some might, but the ones
and
that have common sense, do what they're supposed to do. So
so
that's oh, there you go. There's a class. Well, there you go. There's a suggestion for you. You should run for office and make a recommendation that everybody should pass a class of common sense before they get their diploma.
no, yes, yes, yes. I'll be the professor that teach that class, and 99% of the people will fail, but I'll get them through it. That 1%, at least I know one made it out there that will do the right thing.
I
It's
don't
better
know.
than what we getting right now. 100%
I
don't
don't
get it.
I don't know, Jay. I don't think you could. I think you get too stressed out trying to teach that class. To be honest
They
with
be
you.
like, why? Why? Because of the scenarios, they'll find reason why to spend money.
Well,
You're like, oh, I got to have.
that and they'll probably say some stuff that you don't know what it means, and then
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
because
No, yeah, yeah. Now that is true. That is true. This new language. I mean, uh, mumble rap and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Is it mumble rap? Right? Isn't it
yeah,
mumble rap? Okay. And what's another slang? Gaslighting. What's gaslighting? Is
gaslight.
that old?
That's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
It's been around for a
Okay.
minute. It's just resurfaced because people are doing stuff on TikTok or whatever
Okay.
uh
Okay.
to bring it back.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that would be
That's it.
that's probably your number one thing. I mean, I asked you like what would be your solution. I think that's probably your solution right there. Just have a class that everybody is mandatory to take.
This is the solution. They listen to this and just think twice before when you get your tax dollars, make better decisions. And that's just a good start because you're getting a lump sum of money that it could be a cushion, you know, and you could build off of that. but shoot, usually they get it, and well, let's say they filed in February, they got it in February. By March, they broke again.
Yeah.
Wait on next year, 2024, for tax returns.
Do,
That
do,
that's crazy
well, one more.
to
Do
me.
you think we should split it up to where it's twice a year, like one in the fall, one in the fall,
Because
one in the
people
spring?
because people can't handle money.
I mean, look, I'm trying to provide options. You talking about getting that one lump
Yeah,
sum? If you split it
well,
up,
I think they'll still do the same thing.
yeah, but it wouldn't be as big of a magnitude if you split it up like that. Because you can't, if you don't have all that money at one time, you can't do as much damage.
Right. Well, I know the tax preparers will love it.
Right. They'll get paid. Everybody gets,
Yeah,
it's a win win. Everybody gets
right.
paid.
Everybody, that's right. That's right. But I still that doesn't fix the problem. You should be able to handle money, make better decisions when you get a lump sum of money,
I mean,
and that taxes or the tax returns, it really goes to the masses. So everybody, for the most part, gets a tax return or have gotten a tax return in their lifetime. And what do they have to show for
a day of free stress.
it? Lights out, but that's all right. I got a pocket full of money. What?
Day of free stress
My
and
car needs to get
another
repaired so I can
another
get back forth to work.
another day added on their lifespan because they weren't stressed out. They weren't stressed out that day.
You need more than a day of no stress to make it.
Amen.
You need a life. You need to live your life stress free. Like what?
Hmm?
Now, okay, when you got all your ducks in a row, how you living? You go to bed in peace. You wake up the same way. You go to work the same way. You might have stress on the road, traffic, but other than that, you don't have those things that only you got going on. Bills that need to be paid. You're behind on your rent. You're behind on your mortgage. Car needs repair. A family member needs surgery or some type of item that you can't afford. It's that's the life you should be striving to try to live.
Hmm.
That you don't have to worry about those things.
No, I hear you.
Mhm.
1900s. I hear you.
But you kind of making it seem like, oh, one day of stress free living is pretty cool. Get your hair done, nails done, get your car, get your new suit. Yeah,
sometimes you have to treat yourself. But I mean, I'm not saying blow all of your money. You do have to be responsible. But
right.
if you're sitting there struggling, yeah, take a
Uh-huh.
day. Take a day. Treat yourself.
Oh,
Relax.
yeah, a day, a day.
Right.
How much? Blow 1,500, 3,000
Why would you spend
for
that
a
much
day?
money?
How
You going to a
much?
strip club?
Possibly you go to spring break. How much you spend
Well,
down there? How much?
that's college. That's something totally different. Like they got a college kid, more than likely you got your whole life ahead of you. Like they're not thinking about that. I'm
Right,
saying
right,
like people that are already out of college, maybe,
right, right, right.
26 and older, stuff like that. In
That's
college,
right. That's right.
college kids, spend this money. I'm not thinking about.
Tomorrow, oh no, man, I got a lot of tomorrows.
I
I'm
got
not worried
exams.
about
The one thing that's gonna stress them out is them talking about exams. That's it. I got
it. Right.
exams tomorrow, but I'm gonna take care of myself today.
And then that cycle keeps continuing when they get older and older and older, they still do the same thing.
I mean, they may have that degree bringing in more money, so they don't have to worry about that. We don't know. I'm just saying,
No, that's right.
when
That's
you're
right.
in college, it's a totally different mindset. You're not thinking about that. Like you're really not.
Should they?
And they need to have a money management class, like I said earlier, for college students.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we were. taught how to. I think that was in high school. We were taught how to balance a checkbook.
Right. Now I don't even think they even
Exactly. Thank you.
talk about checks in
Exactly.
school.
Yeah. But let's learn how. Let's learn how to. I understand to the people out there. I understand it's a good skill to have. But let's talk about something that we don't use anymore.
I use checks. Hey, hey,
Hey,
it
now you
works. It
understand.
works. It's a contract. It's a contract. It works.
And now you
It works.
understand the difference between the power of the scan versus I'm gonna write out a piece of paper and give
That's
it to
right.
you.
That's right. That's right. It works. Hey, the lights stay on.
Yeah, I
They
mean the
get
lights stay
paid.
on, paying it with the card too. You don't have to worry about balancing the checkbook.
So, I
That
manage it better that way.
that's all I'm saying. It's like let's learn how to balance a checkbook. Who still writes checks? Yeah, exactly. There's maybe a small percentage of my generation that still writes checks, but we all know who the culprit is for writing checks.
All right. All right, check. That's right. I do. I do. And I'm gonna keep on writing. No, but they try to force me from stop writing checks, but
Exactly. See?
they're like, oh, we have bill pay, and I'm like, please send me my checks, please. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's everybody's moving away from it. So it was like it was pointless in the
Just
long
swipe,
run.
right? Swipe,
Yeah.
swipe, swipe, swipe. The next thing you know, you broke.
Well, I mean, you have alerts you could set up if you're smart. You put alerts
Mhm.
on to decline stuff after a certain amount,
Well, it'll
or
decline. It'll be an
I mean,
alert.
yeah, of course it'll decline that way. But I'm saying
Alert.
you can set it up to where like, okay, I have a daily spending limit. If I go over this, I can't use my card anymore or whatever.
Oh, you can set those things, those parameters. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Technology.
Well, y'all need every bit. Y'all need all the help you
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
get.
Yeah. You're
I need
right.
all the help you can get. Mine works. I'm good.
A
I'm
pandemic,
good.
two recessions, inflation. It's like, bro, what?
Listen, hey, we making it through it, and we trying to help you young people get through it. So, and we'll make it. We'll make it. I don't know how we're gonna look on the other end, other side, but um, it's this is trying times, so it's just gonna make you tougher. Y'all need to toughen up anyway. That younger generation.
You must be the one behind us because I know you're not. I know you're not talking about us. I know you're not talking about us
You,
because as
but
I do
no, no.
recall, oh, I didn't go through any of that. Okay, well, as I can see,
Well, I went through that. I'm going through it, but I can handle it because I've
right.
been,
You've already established.
that's right.
Exactly.
But
So the
the
people that are
younger,
the people that are trying to get established.
that's right. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough unless some major changes come about. And I know this is a small drop, but just think about how you handle, you know, your finances, and when you get extra money, it's not out there just to make frivolous purchases that end up you throwing the money away. You're giving that money to somebody else's bottom line. And the car dealerships, the furniture places, the retailers, and hair, nails, and all those places, they 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 love it. That's their time because they know you are out there just spending and not thinking.
Well, I mean that goes for any major holiday. Like retailers and everybody love that because you're spending you and a lot of people in my generation that are married. We know why people are spending to stay out of the to stay out of the doghouse. On
Right,
Valentine's Day, do that to stay out of the
right.
doghouse. Christmas, do it to stay out of the doghouse.
Well, you break up with them before Valentine's Day, so you don't have to worry.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay.
Then you
Uh,
get back with them, you
and the
know. But
people know that that's what you're for. So that's why they're like, oh, you want to get this? You really like this? It's only $1,400. Oh.
oh, I only got 1,500. Go ahead, I'll get it.
Exactly.
I'll keep 100. Nah. We gotta stop that. We gotta stop. We gotta, use those things differently, or at least think about it.
Yeah.
I don't even think any thought goes into it. I think it's just
I,
whatever.
I of course there's not a thought because the mindset is happy wife, happy life, right? You're not trying to come home to that smoke. You're not thinking about yes, dear. You're not sitting there thinking about it.
No, you put your foot down. No, this is how it is. You're not getting anything for Valentine's Day.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Uh-huh. You outside eating in the cold. Treat you like Fred.
probably so. That's right.
Wilma! Wilma!
But no. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the tax thing, and when I saw this story in the paper about this woman doing that, this article, it just, I said, are people still doing that? And then you blasted it out there on Facebook and putting it out there. I just had to say something about it
No,
or
I
talk
got you.
about it.
I got you. And I'm glad we were able to shed some light on your view of what's going on. Mr. I'm
That's right.
established and I write checks. So
The bills get
I
paid.
write
That's
checks.
yeah. Some people don't even know how to write checks.
I wouldn't expect them to. I wouldn't expect them.
That's right.
I wouldn't expect them to. Like I said, checks died with my generation. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah, and paying their bills died with it too.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Repo man went up,
Mm-hmm.
paying bills went down.
Hey, man. I mean, there's still some of y'all that do it to this day. So we're not alone. We're in it. Like they say, we're in this together. So you joining us on that trip.
You're right. You're right. I do see people my age still doing the same thing. Been doing it for 50 years. And what I'm saying, for a long time. And it's generational. It passed down generation to generation. So, but I just hope we just take time to think about it and know that you're being used in that way.
Yeah, go with somebody who has knowledge and expertise. I mean,
That's
that's
right.
where you have your connects come in. So you avoid stuff like that. Always have a
Mhm.
guy or girl or
That's right.
whatever, a person who
You know,
specializes.
somebody my age who the know.
I mean,
Not
do
don't
you
get somebody who think
really,
they know. You need to get somebody who
can you
know.
really trust somebody that writes checks? Let's be honest.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Oh man, but no, I appreciate um Tech. Appreciate your input on this topic because I was curious how you look at it, and I guess you made some points, but I just wanted to make sure we just realize that there are systems, there are things in place to take your hard-earned dollars and put it in their pockets.
Right, of course. I mean, that goes for anything, though. So you just got to be
Hmm.
mindful of what you're doing. Um, yeah,
That's right.
but we hope you all enjoyed. Same time tomorrow for the video to be posted. Nothing else going on.
All right.
And then
Mhm.
we'll be back with the topic of my choosing next week. So you know it's about to be
Yeah.
fuego.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh,
other
wow.
than that,
What's that? What is
huh,
that? Fago. Fago. What's that? What's that?
fire, fire. Hello.
Oh. Okay. Okay. See, I
Like I
learned
said,
another.
can't trust somebody that writes checks. But we'll see y'all next week. You
And
all take
next week.
care. We're out of here.
All right.
Later.